Alright, this is a trade I took today. It was on gold. I actually ended up trading gold today. I saw way better price reaction and price action than NQ. So the first thing that I saw was what the previous sessions were doing. And Asian session was pumping, and then London session started manipulating. And I instantly started thinking that price wants to retrace somewhere. And we can see that's really what it did. New York session was just a retracement. I'm going to 1 minute time frame. So we can see before New York session opened, before New York session opened, price was kind of just chopping around, making highs, making lows, not really doing a whole bunch. But over here, this is basically how I got my entry. So as soon as market opened, price started kind of dumping. From there, from these candles, I saw this fair value gap. I was like, all right, we made a retracement also into this high, and I was like, yeah, we're having price is starting to go a little bit down, and I entered right around this point. My stop loss was right above this high, and my take profit was above this equilibrium, and I ended up taking take profit like basically perfectly. But I could have held it for a bit longer, but I didn't get greedy. And then we can see over here, this is my so buy like around this point. That's where my bought, and then my take profit was right on this point. And I actually, wanted to take these shorts today, but I literally couldn't take them because my teachers kept on telling me get off my phone. Like you can see this over here, like all these. I ended up taking 2 trades that literally went nowhere because of my teachers. This trade I got like break even basically, and this trade was like $40. This was $10 lost, so I lost around $50. But if the teachers wasn't like tweaking out on me, I could have made at least $100 or $150 on this trade. Because I remember we had a fair value gap somewhere around here. Yeah, I think it was this fair value gap that I was targeting, and that's really what ended up happening. You can see prices dumping even more right now, but that's kind of sad. But at least I ended up not losing out as much as money as I wanted. But also on NQ, I kind of knew that price was gonna have sells today because let me show. We can see price ended up retracing this fair value gap, and from there, I always think that once price goes down or up, it always seeks some type of retracement, like fair value gap, not SMT, liquidity sweeps, or equilibrium. And that's really what it did. Price ended up retracing into this fair value gap, and I was like, all right, if we sweep this high, this would have been like an A+ setup to take sells, but price ended up not taking, and so much people for some reason ended up taking buys from this liquidity, ended up getting stopped out. But the main reason why I didn't take buys is because the retracement that price was seeking was this fair value gap, and from there we had a reaction. Like over time, you're gonna see like how price reacts from liquidity sweeps, from fair value gaps, and you're gonna know like, yeah, from this fair value gap we started retracing down, and that's what it did. We can see over here, price was seeking some type of retracement. We can see price came into this fair value gap, swept this liquidity, and that was the retracement I was seeking, and that's what made the reversal. So today I was kind of like, I wanted to enter these sells because they look so good, but I just didn't because I didn't have a liquidity sweep, and it was only a fair value gap retracement that would have been like my main confluence. So I ended up basically missing out on these perfect sells targeting all of those liquidities. But I'm like starting to trade more on gold a little bit. I'm starting to like it more, how price reacts from fair value gaps and stuff like that. But this trade was perfect. I would have taken like another trade from here targeting that fair value gap that we had. Yeah, this one like right on this point, but my teachers wasn't having it.